G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. Welcome to another week of Two Beards, a podcast, and Wrexham AFC, the podcast all about Wrexham, just brought to you from your favourite Aussies, Rousey here, and, wow, that is Adrian. He's actually fucking here this week.
If you remember me at all, if you've been here, look, to be honest, it's hilarious because I've missed a couple weeks, but we pre-recorded a couple eps. So technically, to the viewers, I've only been gone a week. But to you, you're like, you've left me, and you're never coming back.
Yeah, I told you, next time you leave, you got to make sure I've got enough food. You know, you got to make sure that the window is cracked open and the blinds are up, so at least I can get some sunlight. But instead, I was fucking locked away in the basement.
No, come sorry.
On, I mean, you got to look after me.
I left him in the Westfield car park. Just left my car there, seated in the back, and I said, "I'm just going to get some milk. I'll be back in a minute." And then, just obviously didn't come back. But no, but seriously, it's honestly really good to be back, man. And I mean, you had a pretty damn good guest last week in the Mark Griffiths, the man, the myth, the legend. Gutted I couldn't be here, but thank you for Rousey and everyone for understanding. It's good to just have some family time. For those who didn't know, went to Japan with my wife, and then when we came back, my family who live in Melbourne, who I haven't seen in almost a year. I went and stayed with them for a couple of extra days, which wasn't planned, hence why Rousey pulled the emergency shoot and said, "Mark, save us here." And he obviously did. So thanks, mate.
Yep. Flew him out to your place in Victoria and
yep.
No, it's good to have you back. I mean, Japan was just must have been absolutely rocking by the looks of it, literally.
Yeah. Literally, I dodged when in. So I've told Rousey this, but I dodged when we got to Cairns. It was flooded, like there was floods, and we were the last flight out before they closed the airport. Then on my last couple of days in Japan, everything else was smooth sailing. Then the last day in Japan, I was in a skyscraper in Tokyo, 300 kilometers away from Ishikawa, and felt the earthquake there. Which was very mild for everyone else, but for me, I was quite nauseous by it. And then as we left, a freaking plane crashed at the same airport. So fucking crazy shit. So I was pretty happy to be home, to be real, at the end of the day, just because I felt like something was out to get me, and I reckon Rousey had hired some hitmen just to get me home.
Have you seen the movie Final Destination?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it was some of that shit, mate. You got to be careful for the next little while. Make sure that the old death shadow doesn't come to get you.
Yeah, I'm just hiding now. So,
but anyway, we got some housekeeping as usual. We have a fuck ton of subscribers that have joined us lately, which has been absolutely mind-boggling to us.
We're popular now, mate.
We appreciate all of you that have decided to subscribe and join up, and what can I say? We
mate,
might have
it's a fucking weird one.
Special coming up.
Who knows? But it's quite funny because you get. Oh, I left when we pre-recorded. So we pre-recorded 2 eps. We did the Christmas ep and we did the OnlyFans ep with our fuckheads, and then I reckon I left. What did I leave on about 330 subs?
Yeah,
I reckon.
No, 282.
280. So like around that, I left it about that, and then Rousey was really good. He's like, I want you enjoy your holiday. I'm just gonna message, every now and then, and it was just every fucking day. Congratulations, we've hit 400. Congratulations, we've hit 500. Congratulations, we've hit 600. And I was like, holy shit, what's happening? And then I just realized at the end of the day, maybe I just need to leave the country more. So I'll plan it for every second week.
So to all our lovely new subscribers, wherever you're from, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Get on it. Like, you fucking share and subscribe the shit out of these episodes. We definitely got some big things.
Don't do it. It's reverse psychology. You got to do reverse psychology. Don't do it. You don't need to sub to us. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. Don't even stress.
We don't give a shit. But So to our new subscribers and obviously old subscribers, we have a patron program which we name our fuckheads. We love our fuckheads. They get access to us all the time on a fans only Discord. They get discounted merch from our merch store, and they get shout outs on the pod, giveaways, and a hell of a lot more. So without further ado, our shout outs for the week, Adrian.
Like, I'm a bit rusty. So we got John, we've got Ryan, we've got Sarah, we've got Chris, we've got Aaron, we've got I'm missing Wrexham Texan the third, and
Jake.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Jake, same person. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, cool. I named. All right, I hit it.
And Will.
And Will, of course, Will, the honorary first fuckhead, the gentleman. I said Sarah, so that's good. So double shout out for you. But honestly, thank you all for holding down the fort while I was away. It looks like there's been a bit of news this week, so I know that Rousey's going to want to get right into that one.
Oh, going to get right into it. So just to finish off here, to those of you that are new subscribed, just up above me, you will find our X Twitter name, whatever you want to call it. Fucking X. We're also on Instagram over here. So, yeah, we'll leave these up throughout the episode. We'll do something different to make our screens look pretty. But anyway, fucking news time. Let's go. Roll it. Woo-hoo. So naturally, there isn't such thing as a quiet day in fucking Wrexham. I tell you what. Since you've been away, Adrian, the news has just gone nuts. Like especially with the January transfer windows opening, and we've got all the transfer rumors, which we here at Two Beards, we do not subscribe to that sort of bullshit because we'll believe it when the club says it.
So when we get Ronaldo, I'm fucking keen. So it's gonna be great.
And Declan Rice, we could do with him. That'll be all right, but no.
Not fucking. All right. For those of us who are new to this this channel, Rousey has an unhealthy obsession with Declan Rice. Doesn't support the clubs, any of the clubs he's ever played for, but for whatever reason, Declan Rice is his man. So one day when he plays for Wrexham, when we're in, Championship Premier League, hopefully he's, still in some form.
Maybe. You never know. You never know. You might just want some of that Robin Ryan goodness. But anyway, we'll start off this one on January the 1st at 12:01. The club made a special announcement, and it has to be our most beloved Paul Mullin, the Lord Paul Mullin, and Elliot
Big Dick Elliot Lee.
Yep, Elliot Lee. Fucking A. Bring it on. Extending their terms with the club until the end of the 2027 season. So
wow.
4-year contract.
Whoa, look, that's fucking insane, bro. That's insane. But I also just want to make a public announcement officially from the Two Beards. Fuck the Saudi Pro League. Those rumors were started by fucking degenerates on the internet. And my favorite was Greg Mullin, Paul's brother, basically comes out on Twitter. He's like, oh, you've let a lot of Saudis down, kind of thing. So at the end of the day, I never thought Paul was leaving. I think there was a point where I thought possibly we might have lost someone like an Elliot Lee because of something like Birmingham at the time, who were doing okay, before they had Rooney and then sacked him a couple of weeks later. So,
but that said, Elliot Lee and Paul Mullin are integral to the club moving forward. Huge, massive roles, and I reckon they'll be with us probably right until the Premier League if we make it in time. But
yeah, it'll be probably be Paul's farewell tour if we get to the Premier League in a good amount of time, because it'd be an absolute shame if we did get to the Premier League and then we did have to pull the plug on it. Like someone like, I don't know, Billy Sharp. They got to the Premier League and then told them to go fuck off. So someone like that.
No, we won't do that to Elliot Lee and Paul Mullin, because
no way,
we love him. And
That's it, man.
so that was massive piece of news, and they timed that perfectly. Right just after midnight, the announcement came out. So they'll be seeing us with us for the near future, unless the club decides to sell them, which they would have to now if they wanted to get out of their contract. Um,
Cash money.
Fucking fantastic news, though. I,
Nah, look, when it was announced,
you could not, literally could not start the year of 2024 any better. Everything from here on in is just fucking downhill.
yeah, well, I mean,
Unless we go
shit,
back
like,
to back as champions, but we'll get there.
yeah, look, mate, like the best part about that news, I saw it, yeah, was in overseas and looked at it on my phone. And you know what it was? It was the biggest sense of relief. I just took a biggest sigh. I was like, oh, thank God. Because it's one of those things where until it's put to bed, like when a contract's put on the table, anything rumor can make you feel a bit jittery, however ludicrous it might be. It's one of those things. So fucking huge sigh of relief. Now get a Conquo, a fucking contract right now, and then we can just say, yep, all right, we're back on, boys.
Yep. Yep. And the word is that Arsenal and Wrexham apparently have a good relationship behind the scenes. So there could be
You know what
something
that
there.
means.
Pay attention.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
happen. I think if anything's going to happen there, it probably won't be announced until like towards the last day of the transfer window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, there's been a few transfer rumors bouncing around. We don't know how true they are. But the more they become cemented, you'll hear us talk about it more on the pod. Until then, we're just happy with the team we fucking got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got Fletcher, you got McLean, you got Lee, you got Mullen, you got the Rolls
The
Royce
first
that
two,
is fucking what?
the first two you mentioned are out of contract at the end of the year.
Oh, I hope they extend. I hope they
Yeah.
extend because I think that
Yeah.
they can go with us into League One should they continue to want to play on. But
Fletcher
yeah,
will be
and then you got the Rolls
37.
Royce that is George Evans, who's just been absolutely fantastic for us. And you say yourself was being relieved. I was very relieved myself when it all happened. That you know, just have to be relieved. It's a good feeling.
No, it's a good feeling, mate. But no, I just like George Evans. Just I know we'll get into it when we talk about the games, but he's probably our most important player right now. Him, Okonkwo, definitely. If they're on, we're on. A five-time Emmy Award-winning Reds, mate. So
We won
that
Emmys. That is right. We won Emmys, which was absolute. Big shout out to the team that do Welcome to Wrexham, directors and the editors. Massive, massive congratulations. 5 Emmys. 5. That is just bonkers.
it
So
was good to see them out there as well. Obviously, they all flew out to their shout out to Josh Driscoll as well. One of the reasons why I was able to have a slight cameo on Welcome to Wrexham. So he deserves all the plaudits as well because his editing skills as well on shows such as Always Sunny and Mythic Quest, things like that as well. Obviously should have been acknowledged a lot sooner, but to have Welcome to Wrexham get 5 is huge. And it was good to see the owners make a little funny video because it is known that Rob has been waiting for the plaudits to get this Emmy, to get something, and then they made a bit of a laugh with Deadpool making appearance. So no, really loved it, man. I know it's not about literally about the Emmys. It's about the football club. It's about the town. It's about the people. And I think they know that too. And that's why, as much as they've, given their video to say, thank you, but the first people they thanked were the people of Wrexham and the people of Wales. So that was pretty cool. So really happy with that. And mate, at the end of the day, fucking name another club who's got 5 Emmys.
that be true. That be very true. So, we can shove that in our documentary, that's for sure.
That's it. Shove it in your documentary. Fuck.
So oh geez, there's just like literally it like you go away for 3 weeks and all this stuff is happening and I can't fucking talk about it because we've already pre-recorded the episodes and it just snowballs into everything. So and obviously with the first one being that Barrow game, which is very, very interesting. So we're going
Yeah,
to talk about that game
for
right
sure.
after this. Let's fucking go. Whoa. We had a really, really good run in, which I covered on the other podcast with the dude with the white beard. And Mark Rivers, we spoke about the run into Christmas, but then we come up against Barrow. Now,
Yes.
Barrow being a side that is literally just below us, they spent a little bit of time just above us on the ladder. Biggest defense in the league, well, one of the best defenses in League Two. Was always going to be a banana peel. When you're going, when you're playing a side like Barrow, it's always going to be extremely tough. But so we ended up playing. Where the fuck has Adrian gone? He's just
I
like,
just went to
oh,
Japan and back,
God,
mate. I just wanted to bugger off
shit,
again.
dude.
I figured we were cancelled. Already, so I just kind of fucking went off into the bushes.
Just like makes it. Oh, look, he's done it again.
Yeah, I'm just doing it every 2 minutes now. I know that if I lean back further enough, watch, I can disappear. So it's now my new thing. Whenever I just want to move away from you, I'm just like, wow, shit, it's not doing it now. There we go. For the people listening to this, you must be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I keep disappearing on the screen.
Dickheads. That's what we are. We're just being dickheads.
And that's what we are.
So fucking Barrow, problematic game I saw, and I was nervous coming into this game.
No, yeah, and, no wonder. We lost to Walsall the week before, 3-1.
Yeah, with the loss. But I did say that the boys, whenever they suffer a loss, they come out firing. And boy, did that ever happen. That Fletcher hat trick was just, if that doesn't make you want to sign him for another season, I mean, come on. That is.
He'll be the only 37-year-old in League Two next year, guaranteed. In League One next year if we go up, that is. He'll be the only 37-year-old that's probably not a keeper. Most of them are like goalkeepers because of just they can, go a little bit longer. But Steve Fletcher, he can go all night, mate. He is honestly the man, the myth, the legend. And I just got to quickly rip the Band-Aid off. Those first couple seconds, I watched the game overseas, and those first couple seconds, I was like, oh, yay, it's Wrexham again. Conceding in the fucking fourth minute, was it? First minute?
33 seconds, they conceded
Jesus
the
Christ.
first goal. And I was just like, oh, this. And I honestly had a thought that I'm like, oh, this is going to be like Boreham Wood, because they did something very similar of scoring very early. But I think what you want to do when you come to Wrexham and you verse Wrexham is you don't want to poke the dragon too early, because you poke that sticker, and I tell you what, they will wake up and they will punish you for it. And boy, did they ever. I mean, I was actually trying to look at some league stats, right? That is among the top 10 quickest 3 goals ever scored in an English Football League game.
Yeah. And it's because there was I'm looking at the times here. Yeah. 44 minutes of nothing. So we were 1-0 down for 44 minutes. And I think the biggest thing that I want to get a bit of clarity, and this is where it is good to talk about how we fucked them over and Fletcher just came out firing. But at the end of the day, it took that first half. Barrow still look like a very dangerous side, and the fact that they held off for that long was evident. In saying that, with the amount of time added on, it just gave us a sniff. And I think we talked about it when Fletcher comes on late in games, not when he starts. But when he comes on late in games, he likes to be the late surprise where he'll get that 90th minute goal. I think what he imagined was, I'm just going to pretend that I've just been subbed on into the second half, and I'm just going to score all of my goals, 2 of them in that 45 minute added on time.
Yeah, you cannot give Wrexham a sniff, because if you do, it'll be like Troy Buswell sniffing chairs. And if you want to know what I mean by that, Google it.
Don't Google
But
it. Don't go. Anytime Rousey says to Google something, just do the fucking opposite. That's how I've run my entire life, and it's how I continue to run my entire life.
it's how you
So
stay sane. But yeah, anytime you give Wrexham a sniff, I guarantee you they're going to punish you for it. And boy, did they ever! Those 3 goals in 4 minutes, three
Oof.
goals in 4 minutes. And
How
that
good was
goal,
Mullen's goal,
let us
mate?
talk about that Mullen goal.
Oh,
God, what a precision! Just absolute worldy, cream your pants sort of shit. Really, like you
nah,
can't.
mate.
Oh, you just can't
Nah, it's just
watch
the
that
minute it
play.
came off his boot, mate. The minute it came off his boot, it was basically goal. Like it just felt like it. And the roar from the crowd when it happened, it just was like what is it? The Ryan Reynolds in the doco is like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And 100%, this is how it's supposed to be, because we've got players like that who can stand up in the big moments. And like you said, Paul Mullen signing on, good on the club, getting on that early before anything or anyone can approach him. But I didn't think he would leave. His family's happy. He's happy. And same with Elliot Lee. He's happy living where he is. And his family are happy too. So why ruin a good thing? In saying all of this, Stephen Fletcher, I don't know where you're living at the moment, mate. Not that I'm trying to find your address, but fucking hope he's happy, because I hope that those kind of moments where he's kicking, a hat trick, second half, I was a bit worried for him that he'd just be sitting on the 2 and he'd be a bit pissed off with himself. But when he got finalized that hat trick, it was just one of those things where I went, okay, yes, he'll be 37 next year. Yes, there'll be a question mark about it. But this guy can literally score when he wants. And when he wants is usually at the end of games or at the end of halves. So why not sign him on? Even if he becomes a sub specialist because of fitness, fuck it. Keep him in this side. He's integral.
Yep, exactly. Integral. And just as well as James McLean, when he's just been causing lots of problems for the opposition lately. And I
Love that everyone hates him.
love how he riles up the fans, and he sure as hell did that at Barrow game as well, because he ended up having to walk around the whole entire length of the pitch when he got subbed off. And sure enough, as he's passing the Barrow fans, he's giving it to him. Just wow.
He didn't have to, though, by the way. He didn't have to.
I would fucking hate his guts if he was on another team doing that.
100%. 100%.
Because he's on our team.
It's the best. Mate, but like, honestly, he didn't have to do that, but he does it. And he's done it before, and he'll do it again. And he did do it again, but we'll get into that in the next game. But Jesus Christ, James McLean, again, another bloke that we need to put pen to paper. I think there is a clause in his contract for another year. Again, my knowledge of contracts, to be honest, of most things at the moment is kind of out the window since going away for a little bit. But the good thing was being able to keep tabs on Wrexham X, and obviously getting Rousey's daily updates.
Yeah, so brilliant game. Actually left us now tied for second place on points, but 2 points behind Stockport from the top. Mansfield has obviously played theirs on the weekend, which was a good. The results even went our way yet again, because it didn't change anything.
No, Stockport lost as well.
They basically blew their chance to go top of the league with Mansfield. And Stockport obviously blew their chance to try and put a bit of a cushion between us with the game we have in hand. And sure enough, we're now 2 points from the top. And
That's it, man.
we are in the exact same position we were in 2023.
Fuck off.
2 points and a game in hand is what we left with Notts County.
You're kidding.
National League.
You're kidding. That's great. That is real. That is good. Good ball knowledge, mate. Well done.
So
that is
now
that's
we're game in hand, 2 points from the top.
You know what happens?
You know what happens from here on out. We've been through this before, and I've got to say, I know I know you do. Fucking hell, man. Get it together.
I'm getting
Jeez.
closer now. I think it's because I'm not wearing a Wrexham shirt and the camera doesn't know what to do with itself. So, but
But
honestly, can I put a question to you? Just because I know we've talked about it briefly off air, but I'd love to just open this discussion because I know we have differing views, not in a bad way, but in a good, healthy discussion. Stockport dropping points lately. Mansfield doing well, but obviously dropped the ball a little bit. Who do you think is better at this point in time, Stockport or Mansfield? At this point in time,
I think they're fairly even.
yeah.
In my honest
Uh,
opinion, they are fairly even. Mansfield have done pretty well. Barrow obviously went on a 14-game winning streak or unbeaten streak.
hmm.
Mansfield and Stockport, I think it's hard to separate the two.
Yep.
Um,
Would you rate Barrow higher than either of them?
their defense, I would.
Yep.
They just,
Because I just want to bring something up because Mansfield, we talked about it on the pod when it happened. When we drew with Mansfield, that was a fucking fought tooth and nail for that game during the year. And we were
I think that draw is going to be very important.
it's huge. It's huge now. It's huge now. And I think with Wrexham, we are obviously in the best position we can be. We
And
don't need to be worrying about
here's
the
the
other
thing.
clubs.
Here's the thing you got to think about too. Our run in to April this year is we've already versed a lot of the top 10 away. Now we get to verse them at home at the
Yeah.
racecourse where we are extremely hard to beat. And we've got a lot of easy sides as well that have got to verse us at home as well. So,
Well, Barrow's an example of that. Barrow is an exact example of that. We
perfect
drew with
example of
them
that.
and we threw that game away. And then all of a sudden, return leg home. We'll have the return leg for Mansfield. We'll have the return leg for Stockport in the last day of the year. I rate Mansfield the best out of those teams just because they just look like a hardened team, similar to what Stockport was putting up last year, just a kind of never say die attitude. I could be completely eating my words in a couple of weeks and they might not even be in playoff contention. But the way they're playing, I've seen a couple of their games. It does seem to be on the right track. So I reckon we'll be fighting with them a lot more than we will with Stockport. In saying that, Stockport, all they need to do is just get a couple of wins on the board again and then back up and running. So that's what happens when they get a good run early in the season like they did. Well, a couple games in at least, they're able to have a bit of a buffer. Whereas we did a really poor start and we weren't even looking at playoff contention. And now all of a sudden, second place, equal on points.
Second place, equal in points, 2 points from the top.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to ask the question and
Do
comment
it.
down below if you support my hypothesis.
Oh, here we go.
Adrian, mate, I know we've
Do
had
you
this debate
believe?
plenty of times, but
Do you believe?
you gotta start believing, mate. Like, this is
I'm
truly
God.
something that
It's
it's a
not. It's not
reality.
National League though.
I mean,
It's not National League.
I know anything can happen, right? Anything can happen, but the thing is, the points at the top of the table through to the bottom to where the playoffs are, and now from the playoffs to
Mm.
the rest of the table, that
Mm.
gap is starting to widen.
Yeah, and,
So
and
it's
that's what, and that's
very real,
100%
very real
promotion,
that
mate.
we're going to be
100%.
promoted. But
I've said that since day one. Promotion is where we will be, and it doesn't fucking matter if we go up as champions. Be great if we did, but the end day goal is always going to be promotion, and any Wrexham fan will tell you that. Any Wrexham fan will
Ollie
tell you
Palmer
that.
said it. We're going back to back as
And you
champions.
know how well Ollie's doing. So
Yeah, actually, I know we missed out on news, but poor Ollie Palmer. We keep hearing it on all the other podcasts and all that other stuff. Ollie Palmer is injured. All right. He is straight injured. He's out for another, I think he's out for another 5 weeks.
yep,
5 or 6 weeks to go. He's obviously done something fairly major to his calf. You've seen footage of him limping around the place. So Ollie Palmer, mate, get better soon.
that's it.
And enjoy some good rest and relaxation time because we need you back, fit and firing. It's going to be a hard squad to get back into if Fletcher is continuing to do what he's doing, but it's mate, I'll tell you what. There's a special feeling about the place. Special feeling about the
There's
place.
always a special feeling about it, mate. It's Wrexham. We are one of, if not the most special club, in our eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that the biggest thing that a lot of people will do, and we've made a lot of enemies, and we'll get into that when we talk about the next game. But at the end of the day, Wrexham is special because of the people who flood the stands, the people who support the club at every hour of the morning, but also the players. Parky's battalion, which is basically a bunch of good blokes who want to be there and are fighting for the same thing. And I said to Rousey off I do believe, we can go up as back-to-back champions. But at the end of the day, if we fall short, but we still get promoted, I'll still be just as happy, because at the end of the day, this is a big picture project. We're not here for what is it? You're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. No, like we're the opposite. We're actually here to go the distance.
And we're here for a long time.
That's it. Just like Rousey's dates, just every time.
Yeah, they always say "love you long time," but no.
Oh no! Oh no!
No!
Oh no! He'll cut that. That's fine.
It doesn't.
But at the end of the day, he looks at himself in the mirror and he is proud, because you know what? I wouldn't be. Why wouldn't you be? Because you're Rousey, mate. Well done. I'm just reflecting here. But at the end of the day, we are really, honestly, we're on a good track, mate. I'm really proud of us. I'm really proud of what the club's putting out. I'm proud of the fan. Like, if anything, it's kind of good that everyone hates us, because then it stops the fucking civil war of infighting between, long-term supporters, new supporters, American supporters, Canadian, Australian, whoever it might be, infighting with each other. If everyone hates us, good, because it means we're doing something right. So, and then we're going to talk about how right we can get it in the next bit, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Let us talk about the FA Cup. It's in the game.
Woo!
Let's go. Woo! FA Cup time. We had a monster of a game. When this draw came out, the Wrexham fans were absolutely chomping at the bit to renew this rivalry that has been going on for some time. And I'll start by saying, is it Tom Flanagan? You fucking numpty. Congratulations, mate, for making numpty of the week. Referring to our bloody players as semi-professional last year in the National League on a live podcast. So, mate,
came back to bite him on the ass.
Numpty of the week.
There it is. There it is. Fucking choke on that one. But honestly, mate, that was. I mean, if you didn't need to be pumped for the game, you just had to see the Shrewsbury fans. And here's the thing: there were actually a lot of them who were actually quite cordial. Ironically, they were actually like, you know what, fair dues. If they do win, good on them. Then there were the guys who were like, can't wait to pump them, can't wait to put them in their place. And honestly, mate, it wasn't a dominating effort. We didn't dominate them. We didn't smash them. But fuck, we beat them basically at their own paddock, in front of rabid fan base, in front of basically, I don't even know how many were there, but at the end of the day, it was a fuck ton of people, and they let themselves down. They let themselves down. They didn't take their opportunities. I'm a bit rusty, guys. They didn't take their opportunities. They didn't go in for it the way that they usually would in League One. And so honestly, it showed.
One of our fuckheads actually made a comment. They were talking about us barely being better than a mid-table League One side. But I just want to put this into perspective, because I have heard this comment come up a few times, not just from one of our fuckheads, but a few other people have mentioned this. The fact is, we went away from home, hostile territory, on a derby. Now, I don't know about you guys or how much experience people have had watching derbies, but derbies go to another level. Down here in Aussie rules, West Coast versus Dockers, the state fucking stops. The football, the state of play, you can have one team down the bottom of the ladder and the other at the top it's going to be a fucking scrap. Every derby is like that, and this derby was very much like that.
Yeah.
We went into hostile territory, League One side, established League One side, and although we took a little bit to find our feet, we fucking won.
Yeah.
So
And
there's
Tom
your
O'Connor,
statement.
there it
There's
is.
your
But it's,
fucking statement right there. If that doesn't say we're more than a League One, so maybe top end League One, I don't know what. But I'm telling
well, I
you
mean,
now,
I
fucking
love
that's
your
a statement.
enthusiasm, and I think the realism from a lot of supporters is quite fair too, which is fuck it. Who at the end of the day, who cares? We won, and we're going through the next round, and we talk about that in a moment as well. But the way I look at it, mate, is 1-0 is still 1-0. It was a scrap. It's a derby. It was could have gone either way, really, if they had have taken their opportunities, but they didn't. And they didn't. And that's on them. That's not on us. So we played well. Tom O'Connor, you're fucking legend. You're doing it in the FA Cup. That's your speciality. Just keep doing you, bro. But
Tom O'Connor's
look,
been very impressive.
yeah,
Especially in his newfound role in defence, the way he's been playing. I think they've got that balance right. Um, Obviously, with George Evans through the middle. They just talk a bit about James McLean yet again. So there was a bit going on at this Shrewsbury game. There was a I thought there was going to be a bit of a punch on at one stage. I was like, yeah, go on, let's go, fucking bring it. But oh, who what's do you remember the name of the dude he was going on with? They got carded at the same time.
fuck. I'll be honest, mate.
The
My
name the
knowledge of
name's
Shrewsbury's
the name's
current 11 is not good.
yeah, the name's completely gone for me right now. But
Yeah.
the
No, but honestly, mate, like he went at him. He went at him, and he went toe to toe. He's going to look it up while I ramble. But the cool thing is James McLean does this week in, week out. Doesn't matter if it's a derby. Doesn't matter if it's fucking Barrow. He will taunt you because if he can get in your head, if he can get in your head, and I've seen players do it in the AFL and in Aussie rules football. I've seen them do it in the A League. I've seen them do it in Premier League. I've seen them do it in any league around the world. Half, if not more than 50% of the football played on the pitch is a lot to do with that mentality. And James McLean has that fucking hunger to stir shit up on the weekly. And I fucking froth it. And like you said, I would hate to be an opposition fan. I would hate it. I would want it. I would want him sacked. But just seeing the reaction from every other fan, from him, and obviously what Paul Mullen does every week, by the way. So Paul Mullen does his celebration at the end with the stand. He does the yeah, like he does the almost the I don't know, the chant, and he does it every week. And Shrewsbury thought it was just special for them, and they thought it was rubbing it in. Oh, what they need to be humbled, bro. He does it, one, every week, and two, we won a fucking derby against the club
so
who's above us. You fucks.
It was Ryan Bowman. Them two were just niggling at each other that whole game.
Yeah.
And now I do want to point something out here that you probably didn't notice, Adrian, but when Paul Mullen did that tackle that involved the goalkeeper,
Mm-hmm.
now that was it. I looked at the replay of that. That should have been a yellow card for Mullen, possibly
Yeah.
even sending off. Like,
I
because
saw it.
he went in studs high on that but if you watch closely, when that happened, Ryan Bowman and James McLean basically antagonized Ryan Bowman and actually took the referee's attention away from what was going on with the goalkeeper and Paul Mullen. And they got the card. That was when they got the card because obviously, so James McLean taking one for the team gives a
Every week, mate.
definition of jumping on a grenade, pretty much. And
He'll do it every week, mate. As I said, he does it every week.
Yeah, he caught the attention of the ref, and he got carded. Ryan Bowman got carded at the same time, and it stopped obviously what happened or what could have possibly happened to Paul Mullen. Now, that whole game, James McLean was just revving everyone up. That I was fascinated with what was going on between him and Ryan Bowman. They were constantly at each other, and it was just fucking fantastic. So good to see, especially at the end of the game. Yeah, blowing a kiss. Look at that. Look at that. Blowing a kiss to the Shrewsbury fans who were
Wallpaper.
fuming. Did you see the guy in the grey jacket when they conceded the goal and he's just like, fuck off. And
Yeah. Dude, at the end of the day, they are that if you're going to rev up a team, you do it in a derby. But the great thing is, and this is what I think a lot of the other people who call us Disney FC and other fans who just come out of the woodwork and they're like, oh, they need a humbling. At the end of the day, was James McLean doing that at other clubs? Yeah. It's not it's not fucking just because he's at Wrexham. He's been having to deal with his bullshit all his life where he's picked on for just being who he is. And then Paul Mullen, again, I mentioned just while you were searching there, his celebration, he does it every week. It's not something special for a derby. It's not something special for Shrewsbury. But even if it was, you celebrate a derby win. That's how it fucking works. Did you see how Accrington basically like fucking celebrated like they won the trophy when they beat us? And yes, we had a little bit of a, look at them doing that, oh, that's sweet. We made fun of them a little, but we didn't like try and rabble the entire fucking 92 clubs in the EFL 91 against us being the 92. Like the fuck? It just doesn't make sense to me, mate. Like I don't get why people, like they just get jealous, simply jealous. They're jealous of the owners that actually give a shit. Yes, they might be famous, but it's nothing to fucking do with it. And also this whole thing about Hollywood budget, I'll tell you what, they're not putting in as much. I'm pretty sure at this rate, I think we're on par, or if not, Stockport have now gone above us in spending more. In saying all of this, why is it a bad thing when Wrexham do it, but other clubs have done it for years? That's how you get out of the leagues. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
I think people probably confuse it with the fact that we're able to attract the really good players from the higher leagues purely for the fact that we do have this amazing project going. But look, Shrewsbury 1-0, great derby victory, great FA Cup victory, puts us through to round number 4. So this is where we got to last season, and lo and behold, the draw came around, and here we were hoping for a glamorous tie, a good away day, that we can go out on our we can possibly lose against a Liverpool or someone like that, but it didn't happen. We drew Blackburn Rovers,
which is, hey, if you know your history, yeah, I mean, if you know your history, they're Premier League winners. They won in the 80s. So
the big question is do you think they will take 7,000 fans to or allow Wrexham to take 7,000 fans? Because
I don't know.
Their stand behind the goals there will actually take, I think, 7,430 seats.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know because they're barely filling the stadium as it is. And that's not a shit. I'm not shitting on
but you
Blackburn.
Look everywhere we go, we pack the bloody stadiums out. Like that was the first game that Shrewsbury has had in many seasons that was a sellout.
No, I know, but they're going to want to stop that. They're going to want to stop because they've just noticed, oh shit, if they bring that traveling fan, they did against Coventry, they bring that away following with them. That's their 12th man. That's the person who's going to get them across the line. So if I'm Blackburn, I wouldn't let us do it. A famous derby, I know it's not a derby between us and Blackburn, but as in a famous derby in Glasgow, obviously Rangers Celtic. I'm a big Celtic fan, and Rangers. Sorry, mate. I've just got to finish my thing. All right.
Go on.
Just let me go. So Celtic won. We're on, I think, 9 in a row titles. They were fucking embarrassing Rangers at Ibrox every season, every game. It was just a whole thing, right? They shortened the allocation. They basically just went, fuck it. You can bring, I think it went as small as something like 400 people. You could bring a tiny, tiny amount, and that will stop it. And to be honest, it did help a bit. I mean, it didn't stop us winning, but Celtic winning, but it happened, right? So I think that's something that needs to be considered when it does happen, and if we get up in arms about it, we have to understand where Blackburn's probably coming from, which is that's our 12th man. And if they're going to take that out from us, then that's a good play by them. I would do it if I was in their shoes.
I put it to you this way, right? When these ties happen, the club gets a decent sized cut of the gate, right?
Yep.
So if they don't allow maximum amount of Wrexham fans, which they know will sell out, they're basically screwing themselves out of a hell of a lot of money that they could get from the gate and from all the extra stuff that's sold in the food vans and the club shops and all that sort of stuff. They're screwing themselves out of that money. So do you take the money, or do you risk and risk, giving us a 12th man?
But if they go through to the next round, it's not really a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? They get more money from going through to the next round than they would from any kind of pie that is sold at the ground. So you've got to put that into factoring as well, because they can still allow 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. And yes, we will be up in arms and it will be shit, but I get their mentality behind it. And you have to understand it. It's football at the end of the day. It can't always be about the numbers and figures. But even if it was, getting through to the next round gives you more money than it will selling a couple of pies.
The amount they've spent on Sammy Smosix, they basically screwed the pooch. So they need to definitely make some of that back. And look, I mean, I kind of see them as a bit of a one-horse pony at the moment with that when they acquired Sammy Smosix. And look, fantastic play, scored a hat trick in the last FA Cup game, but yeah. I mean, it's just, if we can shut him down the way we shut down Macaulay Langstaff, then surely
it's a different kettle of fish, though. Unfortunately,
yeah, I know, but
it's a championship side. Like Coventry was a championship side on a slump. Blackburn are also on a slump as well, so it does work in our favour. If history was to repeat itself by us beating a championship side, but like they are, we have to respect them as a club. They're a massive club. And us saying, oh, we didn't get Tottenham or we didn't get Liverpool or we didn't get whatever, it's a bit of a fucking spit in their direction.
I think it's a good little step up. It's like a tiny little step up from Shrewsbury. We've gone through we're making a good way through the cup. So it's a good little step up. But what I mean by that is that when I think back to the Coventry game last year and when Mark Robbins shat his pants and thought, fuck, I better bring the big boys out. And he bought the likes of Godden on Fanketti Derby and Victor Gyökeres. Now, Victor Gyökeres caused a lot of problems for our defence. And had that game gone longer, who knows what would have happened. It could have easily been drawn back. But I worry how well our defense is going to go against someone like Sammy Smosix, because he is a really good player.
Yeah, man. And that's why we have to give them the respect to their name, because they're a Premier League winning team. So that's another thing. If Blackburn fans want to come out and say we're ruining the pyramid, just look a bit back in your history and how much you had to spend to win that league. So just give a bit of perspective.
When the game comes around, do we match up Sammy Smosix with George Evans? Do you reckon George Evans could handle him?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, they're different. Like, it'd be putting him out of position.
Sammy Smosix is an attacking midfielder, so he plays a similar role to Elliot Lee. Now, funnily enough, in that position, that's what George is obviously on the defensive side.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know. I thought I thought he was playing in a different position. No. But okay. Well, then if he is playing on him, then one head to head, yeah, George Evans is the best man for it. As I've said, he is our most important player. Honestly, George Evans is the key to winning. If he's on, we're on. And same with Okonkwo. Okonkwo needs to be on, obviously. Our defense have been pretty okay, but obviously we sleep at parts, and it still happens. It's still unfortunately ingrained in the way we play. We sleep and we allow goals to slip through. We can get away with that against Barrow. We can't get away with it against Blackburn or any other team that's kind of out of this league. So once we can kind of bolster those stocks, I think I'd be confidently saying we'd beat Blackburn. But for now, I'd say it's a 50-50 game. Anything can happen. But George Evans and Okonkwo being on form are the key to winning.
Absolutely, absolutely. So roll on, Blackburn Rovers. Let's do what we did to Coventry. And let's completely just
God, I hope so.
Embarrass them. That'll be so good. And then we'll be through to round number 5, which will be the furthest we've ever gone in a cup. I wouldn't say ever. I think we made the quarterfinals one time, but yeah, under Parky, it'll be the furthest we've ever gone. So yeah, bring it on. I'm so super excited for that.
Should be good, man.
Another game I'm super excited for, though. Wimbledon. After this,
Wimby.
Let's go. All right, Wimbledon this weekend. Bring it on.
Bring on the Wombles
at home. They've got to come and face us at home. Last time it ended in a draw, didn't it?
Yeah, 1-1 draw to the Dons.
So they've got to come and face us after we just pantsed fucking Barrow. So if we can do the same with Wimbledon, then it's just going to be so good. It's just going to be heaven on earth.
I'm just looking at the table now where they're sitting, because obviously, I mean, they were doing okay, pretty well at one point, and then all of a sudden, they dropped off a bit, and now they're seen to make a bit more of a resurgence. They're at 7th position now, so just inside the playoff spots on 39 points, 10 points behind us. Mate, I think you're right. I 100% agree with you. I think Barrow was a statement that the racecourse is our fortress, and it always has been, and we shouldn't forget that. I think Parky's lost 4 games at the racecourse in his time, which is fucked if you think about it.
Absolutely mental stat, that.
Crazy stat. So I don't see it being any more. Wimbledon, I think, with that 1-1 draw, it was 1-1, I'm pretty sure. That game was away. It was hard. You're going against, again, a club who wants to see Wrexham fail, like every club in the EFL. So didn't have we got the point, but this is where we have our people, our stand, and I don't think they'll let us down. I think they'll have a pretty commanding win. I'm going to go with 3-0. I'm pretty confident that these boys are going to be on song. If they're not, then we have a problem. But like you said, this is where we were last year, and this is when we started to make that run towards April.
Yep, exactly. And I think having a packed out race course, a full capacity cop, which is is going to sell out.
Oh yeah.
That temporary cop is just it's a sight to behold, and seeing a 4-sided race course is just it's special. But
I always forget about it, and then I see it, I'm like, holy shit.
But I mean, come on, I mean, it's fucking amazing. Like what we do at the race course, the fact we've only lost 4 games, it is a fortress, however way you want to look at it. Teams do not want to come. In fact, I was, on a side note, I was listening to a Shrewsbury interview that I think it was Rob Ryan Red did it. They interviewed a Shrewsbury, one of the Shrewsbury podcasters, and they were like, yeah, we want to just get you out and win the game. We don't want to have to verse you at the race course because they have had a horrible away form or away record anyway. But that just goes to show teams do not want to come to the race course. They just do not, because they know it's going to be tough and it's going to be hard, and our boys are going to come out firing, and they're going to put on a hell of a show. I don't see Wimbledon being any different. I think they're going to come out. They're going to go after it just like they did at Barrow. They're probably going to be pumped from the big win at Shrewsbury, and James McLean's going to be in form. Elliot Lee's going to be in form. I hope he gets a little bit more form back, because he has been a little bit off, but
it's funny, his off is still like class. He's one of those players where like he has been off.
Shout out to Tom Flanagan after Shrewsbury.
Best post-match interview. And I love it because he's just so charming. You want to be like, you bastard, but he's just such a lovely bloke. And I know that a lot of people are hating on him for it, but at the end of the day, what Billy Sharp can say it, but we can't. You know, I've brought him up twice. He's obviously on my brain. So it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
uh, well, I know. Interestingly enough, he was on Ben Foster's podcast. So
Maybe that's why. Yeah, I think I might have watched him on that
yeah.
recently. But
And,
yeah, anyway.
and shout out Ben Foster for at least sticking up to us and trying to set him straight. But now Billy Sharp's like, oh, well, if Wrexham came calling, I would seriously consider it. Oh, fuck ya. We don't want you. But anyway, Wimbledon. Yes, Wimbledon. So I see this being I actually, I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm going to go clean sheet as well.
Yeah.
But the question is how many goals do we want to score? I mean, we're either going to score a metric fuck ton of goals or we're going to score
1-0.
1-0 or 2-0. You know what? I'm going to side with you, Adrian.
3-0.
3-0. 3-0 win.
I think Mullen for a double. And you know what? Let's give Tasty Fletcher another one.
Yeah. I reckon Fletcher will get one. I reckon Lee will get one. How good's Cannon been? Andy Cannon's been a bit of a surprise.
Little Lion Man. Lion Man. I wrote him off. I think I wrote him off when he got that red card. And I was like, right, this fucker is off. He needs to be taken off, benched, blah, blah, blah. I've never been more wrong in my life, and I've never been so happy about it. Little Lion Man, love him. And I just hope he keeps thriving because he looks like he loves this fucking club. And I mean, who doesn't in the team right now? But he truly, you can see the passion in his eyes. He's really loving it. And honestly, one day I hope he does find that lion that he saw. I really do.
Question without notice for you.
Do it.
Ford or Barnett, who gets that spot? Now, I'm going to preface this one by saying that when Ford was playing on the weekend, he had his pocket picked 3 times that led to 3 very threatening breakaways. Now, how the fuck do you manage to do that? And to the same guy did the same thing to him 3 times.
Yeah, but
does he lose his spot to Barnett and Barnett comes back?
Are we gonna have a go at a guy for close chances, or are we gonna Barnett has? Honestly, man, at home I'd say 40, just because you bring back what we've had, let him keep his until he does shit, until he's like not on, then you can then swap him out. But you know that whole thing that we have when Ben Foster came in, it's like, you know, till he loses, then, you know, we'll keep him in. And the same idea, I think, for 40 is, you know, you hold your spot. Mendy did it as well. Mendy would do it ahead of McLean. He was, when they were playing on that same side, was that they would have Mendy in until he fucked up, and then when he fucked up, they'd swap. So I think that we have to give 40 another go, just because it's at home and it's a bit more of a safer game. I could look like egg on my face. We could get done 4-0, who knows? But I genuinely think in form, 3-0 at home, bring in 40.
Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We will be watching in serious anticipation. But right after this, we will wrap everything up for the week. See you after this. Well, that is it for another week. I know we've probably missed some Wrexham news. I do want to give a special mention because obviously something quite major happened to our promotion partners, Notts County. I was a little bit sad. I don't know why. Like, just to see Luke Williams go to Swansea. Very weird and interesting move. Like, we obviously saw the interviews with Luke Williams, and he was quite emotional. But very, very weird move, and a very weird time to do it too.
I don't know if it's weird because didn't he play for him?
Yeah, no, he was assistant, one of the assistant coaches for them.
Yeah.
Obviously his wife and kid live near Swansea. So he's obviously made the decision because it's a better, obviously better situation all round for him. But to leave Notts where they're at.
Yeah, I would have expected him to do it at the end of the year. End of the
Yeah.
season, sorry. Yeah.
So that was probably why I feel a little bit sad. And
Mm.
then there's also news that Coventry, my number two team, are trying to make a play for Macaulay Langstaff. And it's just like fucking hell not. So they can't catch a break. They lose one of their best coaches they've ever had. They're possibly going to lose the king of Meadow Lane in
Nah, I
Macaulay
mean, I don't see
Langstaff.
Langstaff leaving until end of season at
Yeah,
least. I'm
I
sure he
think
will go, but
I
I don't
think
think
they
he'll
would
go until
have
end of
to,
season.
unless it was like millions and millions of dollars. Like, I think that some of the figures I've seen touted around are like $2-3 million.
Oh, of
Their
course. I mean,
comp
if he's getting that
setup.
kind of money, they'll give him his blessing. But I mean, even Luke Williams said, because they asked him, "Hey, are you going to bring Langstaff to Swansea?" And he's like, "No, I had a specific conversation with Macaulay, about like wanting him to stay and finish what they
Mm.
started." And I think that I don't know. Macaulay seems like a stand-up bloke. I don't think he'd leave him high and dry. But if the right money came around, I wouldn't blame him either.
Yep. So now with no coach yet to be appointed, or no gaffer to be appointed just yet, and he also took his coaching team with
Yeah,
him.
coaching staff.
So
He's pulled a Brendan Rodgers.
I just think they're on the cusp of that promotion group, literally on the cusp.
Hmm.
And he pulls the rug, and I can't help but feel a little bit sad because they came up with us. They pushed us right to the very brink last year.
Yeah.
It gave me a little bit of a soft spot for Notts County. I love the
Part of
rivalry, but
part
it
of me
gave
wants me
me
to just fucking
part of me
who
wants
gives a
to
shit.
gloat. Part of me's like, you
Part of me
guys
wants to
are
just say who gives a
fucked.
fuck. Like,
Yous are fucked. You
oh,
know, that's
I don't
it.
want to even
There's
gloat.
your season.
I just want to say they're irrelevant, mate. I am not even wanting to gloat. I just want to be like, right, that's done. Good. Get it off my fucking timeline at this point because I feel bad. Like I do feel bad for him. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, we've got bigger fish to fry now. And if we're worrying about fucking Notts County, then we got a problem.
Yeah, I know. So, look, my hopes that they do put up a decent fight. They keep their momentum going, and they claw their way back into some sort of normality. But you know what? Part of me is like, fuck yeah, and the other part of me is like, oh, that's a bit sad. But hey, it is what it
And
is.
all of me is like,
That's
meh.
football. That's football.
That's football. But no, it is.
Uh,
It is what it is. If Parky got an offer from a similar club and he did leave, it would suck, but you wouldn't blame him either. So it's
mm,
not one of those things. Like and I don't think Parky would, by the way. I don't think he would leave just because this is such a big project. But in saying that, if the right money and the right team came around, I'm sure it could happen to us. So of course you feel bad in that respect, and I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm just trying to get at we got bigger fish to fry. I'm more worried about the guys who are above us right now. I'm more worried about what Mansfield are doing as what Stockport are doing, and seeing how they go in this January transfer window. Because I know with what we can do, if we can just put on a bit of a run now this January, put us in good stead. Maybe even clinch that top spot. We can really do some damage. I just don't want us to fall apart and lose a couple of games that we should be winning, like Wimbledon.
yep, exactly. So let's go on. Let's have a fantastic game this weekend, guys.
Ooh.
If you liked this episode, if you like our shit, if you like
If you like me disappearing all the time,
yeah, that's fucking annoying.
that's all
But
right. I'll wear a fucking Wrexham jersey that's still in my suitcase. I literally got off the flight from Tokyo to Adelaide, then went back from Adelaide to Melbourne. Then I was from Melbourne to here, and then I had work the next day, and I landed at like 10 o'clock. So I was like, yeah, I'm not unpacking my bag and all my Wrexham jerseys I packed with me. That's how sad I am. I'm that sad guy on a holiday who wears, instead of wearing normal t-shirts on a holiday, I'm just wearing different fucking Wrexham strips. And it's just like, somebody notice this.
oh dear, that's right. So guys, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the new subscribers that have joined us. If you like
Yes.
what we're putting down, if you like the jib of our shit, then by all means,
Ooh, the jib.
like and share the shit out of this, and give us a subscribe as well if you're not subscribed. All relevant links will be down below. I am Rousey. That is Adrian.
First salute
For
of
another
2024.
week, we will see you next week on Two Beards. a podcast, and Wrexham AFC up the town.
Crunch time, got a game to win. Never take an L cause I play to win. My will is strong, my name is him. It's fire in my eyes, got a flame within. When I fail, I will prevail. Heads and tails, I had the nail. Face my fears and conquer thrones. Put it on the line when it's time to go. Oh, they wanna talk about greatness. Putting in work like a day shift. Ball so hard, need a Naismith. This is my time, won't waste it. Won't waste it. This is my time, won't waste it. I won't waste it. This is my time, won't waste it.